What up? Welcome back to another episode of Just Another Sports Betting Podcast. I'm Cody. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok at Cody_CHGO. And we got NFL bets. Tom of Wrigley, he's back. We're both brutally beaten up by the books from last night.
Wounded.
That just means it's time to get hot. It's time to get hot this weekend, all right? That's college football's slate tonight. We have the as promoted, the last $5 to avoid depositing parlay.
Yep.
It's beginning already. Duke is down, and that's not good for the parlay. But anyway.
Can I be honest with you? I didn't put it in until this morning, so I got Purdue at 30.5 for the parlay.
Congrats. Credit to you.
I hope it doesn't matter, but
we have that, and we have the college football slate tomorrow. The video is out. I put up a few regular VODs on the YouTube channel. If y'all want to go watch, and that includes Illinois, Michigan, Texas, and Georgia, in which Tommy basically declared it the lock of the century without actually saying it.
Hook 'em.
And yeah, it's an hour of college football's slate. It's on the YouTube channel, so go check it out. And so we'll do NFL bets for this Sunday. And we'll do Monday night with Blake on Monday. So this is up until Sunday night football.
Wait,
where do you want to start? Shall we start in London like we did last week?
Yeah, we should start there. I just want to acknowledge just yesterday, not a great day. You know, we didn't do great. You guys had the Broncos. You were correct on that. I am a wounded soldier because I took one for the team. I was Forrest Gump and got shot in the butt for the team, which I was happy to do. The under was just mean, just a very mean way to lose the under. They had us hanging on for dear life. And then this kid comes out of nowhere for the Saints and just drives them straight down the field, which, by the way, should the Saints have started that kid or not? Good Lord. He just torched them, but garbage time. We lost the under. C'est la vie. We move on. I'm excited for college football tomorrow. I'm really excited for NFL on Sunday because we don't have to worry about the Bears. We already won the bye week, so it doesn't even matter. I'm just going to blissfully watch football on Sunday without a care in the world.
Absolutely.
So, yes, we should start with London to answer your question.
It's a disgusting game. It's
terrible.
A disgusting game.
Yeah, terrible.
We have to start with the worst. If I were to pick the worst game of the entire NFL slate this week, it would be Jags and Patriots in London.
This is one that,
the people in London don't even deserve this game.
Yeah, this is one where if I accidentally sleep in, I'm not going to be upset.
I will be sleeping in. I've been getting up way too early in recent weeks. I'm telling you, man, Sunday I'm sleeping in. I got to go to a Halloween party tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm sleeping in on Sunday.
Dude, it sucks to have friends, let me tell you.
All right. I am going to place 1 or 2 bets on this game. I managed to come up with 2 things that I might play on this game.
Okay.
All right. So the Patriots are 5.5-point underdogs against the Jags, which is scary to want to even consider because the Jags are bad, but the Patriots are bad. The Jags have better weapons. They have the better quarterback, I think. We don't know anything about Drake May. I kind of like the under, but also the Jags have been there for a week, so there's no jet lag for them, but maybe there is for the Patriots. Their offense sucks, but also all those rankings and everything, that's with Jacoby Brissett, not with Drake May, really. This is his second career start. I don't know how to play the spread or the total on this game, so I'm staying away. But there is one thing that I do know, Tommy, about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right.
Their secondary sucks.
Yep.
It stinks.
Sure
okay.
Does. Sure does.
So give me, and this is a shout out to our pal, or my pal, I guess, kind of he is kind of a coworker. Give me Hunter Henry over 31.5 receiving against the Jags on Sunday morning in London. We just watched Cole Kmet score 2 touchdowns against the Jags last week.
Yep.
He's gone over this total 3 of the 6 games this year, so he's 50%. And again, the Jags are 31st in the NFL and against the pass. So I also kind of like Demario Douglas over 48.5 receiving, who's the number one wide receiver for the Patriots.
Yeah.
He leads the Patriots in targets. It opened at 36.5 and has moved all the way up to 48.5. So
Wow.
like
Wow.
I feel like it's still worth taking. He had 92 yards last week in Drake May's debut. All right.
Yeah.
Or like as a starter at least. And again, the Jags are terrible against the pass. I like one of those two, maybe both, maybe parlay the two, because I think at the very least, I think the Patriots are going to be playing from behind. So they're going to have to throw the ball. And also they throw the ball more than they pass it, or they throw the ball more than they run it anyway. I think they pass it around 55 to 56% of the time compared to, 40 some percent running it. Also, Ramondre Stevenson he's been on the injury report this week. I think he's still going to play, but he might not be used as much. And it doesn't really matter. This Jags defense is terrible all across the board. But Drake May, if I'm the Patriots, I want to get him out there to toss it around and
sling it around.
Sling it around and make some mistakes and grow from it. Like they're 1-5. They have nothing to play for other than to just try and develop Drake May.
Yep.
Throw him out there and have him throw the ball around. I kind of like the passing attempts prop too, but
we got bamboozled on that last night.
I'm kind of ruined by it right now. So I'm staying away on that. So give me Hunter Henry over 31.5 receiving and Demario Douglas over 48.5 receiving for the Pats.
Cool. I am not scared to take the Patriots +6. Drake May, he put up 265 yards through the air against the Houston Texans last week, which is not a bad defense. I mean, Houston's kind of got it rocking. He threw 2 interceptions, but he also threw 3 touchdowns. He had a rating of 81.9. Not too bad for a rookie quarterback. This is his second game ever. Like you said, Jacksonville's secondary is horrible. So, and I mean, there is no motivation from the Jacksonville Jaguars to do anything good right now. The Patriots have the whole world in front of them because they have a rookie quarterback on his second start with no expectations. Why not go over to England and just beat the Jags right quick, So I like the Patriots +6, and because of the lost secondary of Jacksonville, I also like the over 42, which is dumb to do in the London game. But we saw what happened last week, and that's another rookie quarterback. Granted, the Chicago Bears are way better than the New England Patriots, as they were in 1985. But I like it. I'm going Pats +6. That is a system play because the Pats got blown out last week. This is the system that went 1-1 last week. We got the Commanders +9.5, but we missed out on the Cardinals +5.5.
It's at 50%. Right.
I am following the same system with Pats +6, and I'm taking the over because I think we're going to see some points in London again.
Well, for the sake of entertainment, I hope so too.
Yeah. And I will love to wake up in the third quarter to see like a 21-20 game. That'll be great. Help me a lot because then I just need one more point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the London game. We managed to talk about it for 8
Probably
minutes.
Way too long. Yeah.
8 minutes, I think we
way
talked
too
about
long.
It. Maybe I might be a little kind on that, but like that's way too long for that game.
Very long. Yeah.
All right. Let's do the next best. Let's go from the worst game to what I think is the best game of the weekend. All right.
Definitely the best.
It might not be, but I think it's the best game of the weekend. Lions and Vikings. Okay. I have 2 player props, but let's talk spread and total first. All right.
Yep. I'll just tell you right now, I'm skipping straight to the money line.
Right.
And I'm taking the Vikings. I've got it -122 is the best price that I found on it. This game is going to come down to the Detroit defense versus the Detroit offense versus the Vikings defense. This is going to be the best offense that the Vikings defense has seen, and this is going to be the best defense that the Lions offense has seen. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. I'm calling this a championship kind of game. So I'm going to take the defense. I'm going to take the Vikings money line.
Yeah. This is the game where the Vikings put their meat on the table and say, hey, we're for real. We're not just like a 5-week,
We're not a fluke.
Fluke. This is a game where you say that you are a contender, not a pretender,
Yep.
The Lions coming off that blowout against the Cowboys. Like, to me, I've watched enough of the Cowboys this year. They are trash, right?
Bad.
So to me, it's impressive that they put up almost 50 points in that game, because they could have easily laid down a little bit or just, came out flat. The Lions have been consistent all year. I think they have a championship mentality. They went to the NFC Championship last year. This is the game that the Vikings proved to me that they are for real. And that is why I'm taking the Lions money line, because I want to see it. I want to see it. If the Vikings win this game, I will start to believe in them. But I'm taking the Lions because I know the Lions have proven more. And I also think that the Vikings secondary isn't that great. And the Lions will throw the ball around.
They will. Yeah, this is going to be an ultimate test for both sides. So I'm excited. And you know what? With the Bears being off this week, great time for the Bears to be off this week, because I want this game on the big TV.
Yeah.
This is the game that I want. And the noon hour, I want this one.
Yeah. So we're going against each other here. Lions, I'll take the Lions. You got the Vikings.
You are 2-0 in this scenario.
However, I feel like we might be different on this too, but because I'm taking the Lions, I want to take the over.
Sure.
I want to take the over. And like I mentioned, the defense for the Vikings being at least the secondary not being very good. They also have a ton of guys on IR anyway. Aaron Jones is also questionable. He would not have played last week if they weren't on the bye. He basically openly said that this week. So that's another reason why I like the over, is because there's a lot of injuries, or a lot of guys who are hurt on both sides, but all the key players are healthy.
Yeah.
But I just think that both like Jared Goff and Sam Darnold are going to be able to throw the ball around and do whatever they want, really.
Yeah,
I like the over 50.5.
The over makes sense. 86% of the bets are on the over. 87% of the money is on the over. It makes all the sense in the world that this is an over game. However, I'm going to stay away from the total on this one. I got enough riding on the Vikings money line. I feel like that's going to be a sweat in its own. So I will cheer your over on with you. However, I'm going to just be focused on the Vikings.
Sure.
That's responsible gambling right there.
Responsibly. Okay. Now my 2 player props, and I have a player prop for both teams.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson over 91.5 receiving. I know it's a huge number, but he's been incredible against the Lions the last season.
And he's the guy. He's just their guy.
Detroit's 32nd against opposing wide receiver. I can't talk. Detroit is ranked 32nd in receiving yards allowed to opposing wide receivers. Okay.
And how many teams are in the league?
32.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Okay. Jefferson had 192 yards against this Lions defense last year. I know there's some new players on there.
Sure.
They too have some injuries as well, including Aiden Hutchinson, who is key in terms of getting after the quarterback.
Heard he's pretty good.
Right. Yeah. He had 192 his last game, and he had 141 the game before that. So what's he got for like the third time around? I think he's going to have a day. All right. So Justin Jefferson over 91.5 receiving.
Okay.
And then for the Lions, I like Jamison Williams over 47.5 receiving yards as well.
All right.
The Vikings 31st against opposing wide receivers in yards allowed. So this
you're
kind of goes
selling me on this over a little bit.
This is kind of why I'm taking the over. I think the Vikings defense has been impressive in certain ways. Like their run defense is pretty good, but they have not been good against the pass. And listen, this Lions offense is no joke, man.
Yeah,
it's no joke. And especially against wide receivers, I like Amon-Ra St. Brown as well, but Jameson Williams is a guy, 47.5. He could get that on one catch because he is the deep threat. And he has been impressive. He's gone over his total in 4 out of 5 games this year. So give me Jameson Williams and Justin Jefferson on the receiving.
Your props and your reasoning for the props have sold me on the over. I am writing down the over 50.5. I still think the Vikings win this game somehow.
Yeah.
But you have sold me on the over based on the lack of help against the wide receivers.
Sick.
Sick.
All right. Well, at least we're riding on the over together, but
yeah.
Go Lions.
Yeah, sure. Why not? What about that? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you have a plan? I was just going to say, what about the other team in the division? This would probably be a good time. Yeah, this would probably be a good time to bring them into the equation.
Yeah. I don't really know how to play this one. I purposely didn't go look for a player prop, but the Texans pass defense is pretty good. You did mention though that Drake May kind of threw it around against them last week. I don't know what to think about this Texans team. The reason that you're high on the Vikings is the Vikings shit all over the Texans.
And the Texans, yeah.
And the Texans have had some impressive wins along the way too. So it's just like they're a good team, but I don't know which version of them is going to show up.
Yeah, and I don't know what the weather's going to be in Green Bay. I do know that there are reported high winds for Sunday, which makes me think under. What's the total? 47.5 is the total. I think my bias is coming too much into the Texans +3. Yeah. So I think this is a game I sit out, but this is another one that, with the Bears being in the same division and it's an arch rival, I think this is one we also have to very much pay close attention to, but responsibly sitting out.
Responsibly.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe the under is the play. The Packers pass defense is pretty good, especially when Jair Alexander plays. Yeah. Their run defense sucks though. But the Texans don't like to run the ball. So that's why I kind of lean Packers to win. But that's it. Can they cover that 3? Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah,
their kicker kind of sucks though.
Yeah, and their offense is also weird. We don't know what we're gonna get out of the Packers offense quite yet. So just a weird dumb game. I'll be rooting for the Texans. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Same. All right. One. I have 2. Let's do the one other player prop before the next game that I have multiple things on. All right.
Okay.
This game kind of sucks, but I couldn't say no because it just makes so much sense to do it. Jalen Hurts over 34.5 rushing yards against the Giants on the road. Giants at home, coming off a loss against the Bengals on Sunday Night Football. The Eagles coming off a really ugly win over the Browns. The Giants are 30th. They're ranked 30th against opposing quarterbacks on the ground. Jalen Hurts is ranging anywhere from 8 to 13 or 8 to 14 rushing attempts this season. Last season against the Giants, he did not go over this total for this game. He did have 34 in one, so he missed it by a half point.
He also didn't have Saquon Barkley in the backfield helping him.
Sure.
So,
but after watching Joe Burrow run as much as he did, or that one time for a touchdown against the Giants, and now they have to go up against an actual mobile quarterback, I'm willing to ride it here.
Yeah. It's a good prop. Good prop. This is a weird game. Saquon going back to the Meadowlands. I think a lot of people are going to be all over him in this game. And I think that's a very dangerous thing to do. Just in this instance, I love a good feel good story of a guy going back to a team that said they didn't want him and running it up and going crazy. But this Eagles team is just too not great. And they gotta, if they were dominating the league like they said that they were going to, then I'd be all over Saquon on this one, but they have not looked good at all this season. Like in any game, win or loss, they have not looked good. Weird game. I like the Jalen Hurts prop that you just said. I'm thinking about it, But this spread also being just 3 points when the Eagles should really be
like 7.
a lot better than this Giants team, because this Giants team is tough. It's a tough watch if you're a Giants fan.
Yeah.
But saying that, 92% of the money is on spread money is on Eagles -3. So the public is huge on the Birds.
Yeah, I mean, they should be, because it's like quite obvious
Yeah.
who's the better roster.
Yeah.
Maybe Saquon, doing a Saquon like rush attempts prop or something. Maybe like, I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Last week, Chase Brown had a great game against the Giants. Like,
Yeah.
maybe, you know, that you could easily do a Saquon prop. When I first looked at the game, I was like, okay, Jalen Hurts against the Giants. And then I remembered that Joe Burrow ran one for like 50 yards. So I'm like, okay, let's look at the rushing prop. To be honest with you, I didn't even think about Saquon Barkley.
Sure. I just pulled something interesting up. Maybe this will sway us in something here, because I mean, the Eagles aren't what they're supposed to be. The Giants look awful. They especially looked awful last week, right? I would qualify that as a bad game. Would you qualify that as a bad game against the Bungles?
Yes.
So there's a system I just came across that's hitting at a 61% rate.
Okay.
And it's called betting against the public after the team had a bad game. And it's got Giants +3 as the play. 61% rate. So betting against what the public money says after the team that doesn't have the public money has a bad game the previous week. So the Giants have 8% of the money right now compared to 92 on the Birds.
Huh.
That's a big, big, big gap. And if the Giants hit, credit to the books, but it's an interesting system. I'm going to flag it and keep an eye on it. And maybe next week we assess the situation. But
maybe.
I need to see it in action.
Fair enough. Okay. Anyone who bets on that game,
you're
outside
crazy.
of a player prop, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's jump to the other noon game I had.
Okay.
Falcons -3 against the Seahawks.
Okay.
Right? They're at home. The Seahawks defense, they got a lot of guys out. Trey Brown, he's out. They just put Rayshon Jenkins on injured list, and Rick Woolen is also out. I think like the Seahawks started like 2-0, 3-0 or whatever, and then they've lost every game since. Their defense sucks. I like the Falcons at home. I like their defense. They get after the quarterback. I think Kirk Cousins is better than Geno Smith, even even post Achilles injury. Kirk Cousins. I'm a little afraid, since they're not like divisional opponents, so they don't see each other a lot. So you might get that random like Seahawks offense that decides to be elite. But like, I just watching the Seahawks in their last game, like they can't stop anyone, man.
Sure.
They can't stop, and they can't stop the run. So I like the Falcons here. 3 points it feels like it should be more, but I understand that the Falcons, they can be inconsistent. So
we are against each other again here.
I like Seattle.
I like Seattle. I think the hungrier dog will run faster on Sunday. And between these two teams, Seahawks have lost 3 in a row. They got boat ran by the Lions in Detroit. They lost the heartbreaker to the Giants. And then they were hanging in with the 49ers until they took off late in those sweet uniforms. I think they come to Atlanta. It's a noon start. So they're already playing an 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. game to them.
Yeah.
So it's an earlier game. I believe that they are in a situation where like we are in the mix in the West. Everybody wants to give it to the 49ers, but the Seahawks are still right there at 3-3. They are in contention for this division, and I think they know it. This is a get right spot for them. They need this one because next week they go They have Buffalo at home next week, and then they have the Rams at home, and then they have their rematch in San Francisco. They feel like they need this one. The Falcons, they're coming off a win against the Panthers. I need to look and see where they are next week and what they got coming up, but they're 4-2. I think they're up top in their division with the Buccaneers, but they've already beaten the Buccaneers. Seahawks at Buccaneers, and then Cowboys at home. So pretty favorable for the Falcons. They don't super need this game like the Seahawks need this game. So I will take the Seahawks money line.
I just don't believe in them. Like, they had no business losing that game to the Giants, but they just showed up and decided they're going to be bad that day.
Yeah.
Like that. I just feel like they're not a good football team.
That's kind of how I feel about Atlanta. I know they're 4-2, but I just
they beat a
have
good
not
Bucs
bought
team.
in. I know, but I just have not bought into the Falcons yet. Have not bought it.
Well, I guess we're going to see this weekend.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
2 player props for this game, of course, both Falcons ones. So if you don't know how to play this game, let me intrigue you a little bit. All right, Kyle Pitts over 40.5 receiving. Seahawks 29th against opposing tight ends and receiving yards. All right, and he's had over 50 yards in each of his last 2 games. I know he's been a guy that can be hot or cold, but these last couple games he's actually consistently helped them on offense. So I like Kyle Pitts going up against a defense that has sucked against tight ends all season.
Sure.
And then I mentioned earlier that the Seahawks are terrible against the run. So sign me up for some Bijan Robinson over 62.5 rushing. Seahawks 29th against opposing running backs. 29th in rushing yards allowed against opposing running backs. So I like both of them. Maybe take one of them. I think Kyle Pitts is the lock for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like him.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the best game of the 3:00 slate. And honestly, it's the only game of the 3:00 slate that I'm playing because I will be paying attention to it and no other game because the rest of them suck.
Hell yeah.
Rams and Raiders. No one's going to watch that. I don't even know if Raiders or Rams fans are going to watch that because they kind of don't really. They're all kind of fair weather now.
Yeah, I didn't even write it down.
Right. Right. 49ers and Chiefs. That's what we're talking about here.
It's a great game.
I'll start.
Go ahead.
49ers money line. You just kind of like what you're saying about the Falcons and the Seahawks.
Okay.
Like the 49ers need this game more than the Chiefs do. The Chiefs are 5-0. And I'm sorry. Like, I know they're 2-time Super Bowl reigning champions and like they have Patrick Mahomes, who's the best quarterback, arguably the second greatest quarterback ever based off, just recency bias over the last handful of years and watching him and all these things. And Travis Kelce's an all-time tight end, all these things. I get it. Taylor Swift, all these things. I get it. But this is kind of like a revenge spot for the 49ers from the Super Bowl. All right.
Okay.
And like I said, the Chiefs are due for a loss. They've gotten lucky in a few games. They should probably have at least 2 losses on the schedule.
Probably.
Including week 1 against the Ravens and freaking Isaiah Likely's toe being the reason that they lost the game. All right. And then, in my opinion, they should have lost another game in there. They easily could have lost to the Falcons. The Falcons were winning that game for a half. Them 2 offensive linemen got hurt, and then the Chiefs kind of took over after that. I just haven't been impressed with the Chiefs offense since week 1 ended. Week 1, their offense was great. They got that kid from Texas, Worthy, going, and it looked like Patrick Mahomes had all these weapons again, and it's only gotten worse since then. Now, Travis Kelce has gotten it going the last couple weeks, so they have that going, but they still don't have Pacheco back. Their run game is still kind of sus. Like maybe Kareem Hunt will get more touches this week, perhaps. At the end of the day, though, like the 49ers, even though McCaffrey's out, they still have Kittle, they still have Ayuk, and they still have Deebo Samuel. Whether Jordan Mason plays or not, to me, it really doesn't matter who gets behind there because Kyle Shanahan has proven that with all the different running backs that they just put back there. I do think McCaffrey is different from all of them, but they they find a way to be able to run the ball with anyone back there. So, again, I just think this is the must-win spot for the 49ers. It's a revenge spot from the Super Bowl. And, yeah, Chiefs are due for a loss. Give me the Niners at home.
All of that it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you what you're saying. However, you are missing one very important statistic. The Chiefs are coming off a bye week, and Andy Reid is the head coach, and they are underdogs. Plus 108 money line for the Chiefs. When can you ever bet the Chiefs money line with a plus sign in front of it? I learned my lesson with this. When the Chiefs have a plus sign in front of their money line, you don't look at any other statistic. You don't look at anything. You take the Chiefs because they hate when they're underdogs. Patrick Mahomes hates when he's an underdog. And you add the fact that Andy Reid is coming off a bye week. Stop it. I won't look at another thing. I will put my money on the Chiefs money line and I'll just watch it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Andy Reid coming off a bye week and the Chiefs are underdogs. No, thank you. I will take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I hear you. My rebuttal to that is every time someone brings this up to me, all I can say is I took the Chiefs a handful of years ago against the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl when they were underdogs and they fucking lost, okay? So don't tell me that they always win when they're a freaking underdog. They lost the biggest game of the year that season.
I got on that one as well. I did too. But look, we are in the regular season, so I feel good about this one.
As you should.
Yeah.
You should.
So, and again, I don't think anything you just said is wrong. The Chiefs are absolutely due for a loss. They've gotten lucky. They've gotten help from the refs. All of those things are so very true, but it's not happening this week.
Yeah. It's so frustrating.
It is very frustrating.
As a fan of football,
and I promise
the Chiefs
you,
look this bad and be undefeated.
And I promise you, I hate it. I hate this, but I know in my heart this is the correct thing to do.
All right. Well, we're against. It's nice to have different sides this week.
Yes.
Here's something that maybe we both can play though. All right. Okay. This is the player prop for this game. And it kind of goes into my revenge narrative. All right. George Kittle over 51.5 receiving yards. Kansas City is ranked 32nd in the NFL against opposing tight ends. He only had 4 yards in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And he's gone over this total in 3 of the 5 games he's played. So again, no McCaffrey. He's been getting a lot of targets in recent weeks. I think if the 49ers don't get revenge here, George Kittle's getting revenge on Sunday at 3:30.
All right. Yeah. I am trusting you on all the player props. I am out of the player prop game. I am 0 for 8,000, so I am going to stay out of it. But just to bring some positive vibes to this stream right now, this is completely irrelevant. Duke is taking control.
Are they killing? Are they killing Florida State?
They have taken control in Durham, North Carolina. So,
it's 13-3. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. God, we just need Purdue to not lose by more than
just
30.
Don't lose. Just don't lose.
All right. Did you have anything else from the game? 49ers and Chiefs?
No. Chiefs money line and walk away. That's it.
Okay.
I don't trust the total. I could see it going either way. I can make a case for either way. But Andy Reid coming off a bye.
All right. Now, your thinking on this game is kind of how I feel about Sunday Night Football. All right.
Okay.
Jets, Steelers. It's always death, taxes, and Mike Tomlin as an underdog, folks. Every single time. Every single time I will take Mike Tomlin as an underdog. I will do it. I could be on my deathbed and be almost like just at the end of my days. All right. And if my future wife or Tommy, perhaps you're there and you're like, do you want to place one more bet before you die? And you tell me that the Steelers are underdogs and Mike Tomlin is still kicking out there. I'm saying, give me the Steelers every time. I do not care.
Mm-hmm.
I do not care that it could be Russell Wilson or over Justin Fields. What's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference at this point in both of their careers? That team is built on defense. This Jets team is in such shambles right now. In many ways, it's funny. It's also annoying because Packer fans just love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I cannot. After what the Jets did to me on Monday with all their dumb penalties, like you look at the roster and like that should be a Super Bowl contending team, but they don't know how to not make mistakes. How many false starts are they going to have? How many, stupid penalties are you going to commit? I know that a Mike Tomlin ran team is going to not make those kinds of mistakes, and they're at home. Mike Tomlin, prime time, at home, underdog. Give me the Steelers. I might put my rent on it, Tommy.
Look, I have been to not Heinz Field in a primetime game for Bears Packers. I have been in the environment as the Steelers were favored, and they still it is a different environment at night at not Heinz Field. So I am with you 1,000%. Mike Tomlin as an underdog. And this is partially because my wife is the best Steelers fan that I know. Maybe not as much as her aunt. Her aunt is psychotic about the Steelers, but I know she's going to be all over it. This is a hate bet for me against Aaron Rodgers. I'm with you all the way. And if I may, I'll jump in the player prop pool because I got a little something for you here.
All right, let's see it.
Let me take you through your NFL Sunday right here. So Eagles, Giants. Giants, not a good football team. Daniel Jones, not a great quarterback. Eagles need a statement badly. What if we just throw in the bet slip a Daniel Jones interception, and then we make our way up to Buffalo and throw in a little Will Levis interception, and then we just end our night with Aaron Rodgers getting a ball tipped by TJ Watt and then caught by Mika Fitzpatrick or whoever the hell wants to catch it. And then we're sitting with a win on a parlay of those three throwing interceptions. That is worth plus 538. Relishing in the fact that Aaron Rodgers just got his most favorite receiver and the Jets still stink. Yeah. So give me the Steelers money line and give me the parlay of interceptions that includes Daniel Jones, Will Levis, and Aaron Rodgers, three of the worst quarterbacks in the National Football League in 2024.
You had to put the in 2024 part. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm barking up a tree here. Okay.
All right. Well, at least we found one to agree on. Steelers money line, Sunday Night Football, Sunday Night Carrie. Carrie Underwood's going to sing her a little song, be extremely hot with her blonde hair blowing back with the fan that's like you can't see on set that's just blowing in her hair. And I'm going to fall in love.
It's real wind.
It's for sure. Wind. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, right? Yeah. Steelers. If there is anything that I know for sure is that I believe in the Steelers at home on prime time as an underdog. That is
there we go.
Let's go. All right. And thankfully we don't have to watch the Bears this week. So there's no stress.
Shout out the Chicago Bears. They deserve a shout out. Shout out the Chicago Bears.
Shout out. Okay. Moneyline parlay for the week.
I got one for you.
All right.
I'm making sure the odds right now just to make sure I'm as up to date as possible when I tell you this, but I have 5 winners in this parlay, and it is worth altogether. Oh, hang on. Take that out. And then, here we go. 5, and it is worth plus 561.
Okay.
Bills over the Titans, Colts over the Dolphins, Rams over the Raiders, Commanders over the Panthers, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers over the New York Football Jets. That money line parlay comes out to plus 561 on the FanDuels.
Okay. That's a lot. Let's go over this one more time. I'm going to put it in as you say it one more time. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So if starting off with Bills money line, which is
Bills.
minus 480.
Right.
Colts, which is minus 158.
Okay.
Rams, which is minus 320.
Okay.
Commanders, which is minus 490.
Yeah.
So those are your heavy favorites.
Right.
And then you throw in the Steelers unnecessary money line. Unnecessary underdog money line, I should say.
Okay.
And quite honestly, you could throw the Chiefs in there too, but I know we're against each other on that one, so I won't.
Yeah. See, we are against each other. See, what I want to do is throw like the Falcons in here, or maybe even the Packers. I don't know. I like it, but I kind of want more juice. I know,
but I'm in this mode of just taking the wins that are given to me.
Fair. All right, I'm in. 5 legs. 561.
561, 5 legs. And I'm taking myself out of parlay timeout for this.
Credit to you.
Yes.
All right.
So that one. And then I also have my 4 corners parlay to debut to the world.
Okay. 4 corners parlay.
I have the Colts minus 3 against the Dolphins. I have the Patriots plus 6.5. I found against the Jags. Over 50.5 in Seattle, Atlanta. And then under 41.5 in Cincinnati, Cleveland. Okay. So those 4 together is plus 1226 value, or you can 6-point tease them for plus 240. And a reminder, last week, I lost the normal one by 1.5 and the teaser hit. So feeling kind of good about this.
Best of luck. Thank you. All right. Maybe I take all these player props that I gave out today and parlay them as well.
I mean, $1 has to win you like hundreds.
Right?
If all of those hit, that'd be something.
I'm going to feel like the smartest player prop guy on the planet if those hit.
Yeah, something for the people, you know?
Right? Okay. All right. Well, we managed to do this in under 45 minutes. Credit to us. We figured it out. It also helps that this slate sucks.
Slate stinks, but you know what? Football be football, and we're going to be begging for it in those days in February where we got those stupid conference games that mean nothing in college basketball, and we just had the Super Bowl. We'll be dying for it. We'll be dying.
Those conference games mean something.
Well, I'm talking about like the blowouts, like the ones like home team minus 1,000 money lines, like stuff like that. You know.
Okay, fine.
I could have used a better example because you're right. College basketball is incredible.
Yes,
I'll work on that. But
I look forward to college basketball being back. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will be back Monday. Again, the college football show is out on the YouTube channel, and this is this week's NFL Bets show. So, yeah, we got a lot of content up here on the YouTube channel. If you're into it, if you want to let us know what you're betting, you can tweet at us. Cody_CHGO and Tommy and Tom of Wrigley. My bad.
It's okay.
And yeah, we'll be back Monday. Monday Night Football. There's 2 Monday Night Football games this week.
2 of them. Yeah. So we may have to go 30, 45 minutes again if we need to.
Yeah. And I feel like every time there's 2 Monday Night Football games, overs are hitting. And
there's a couple teams playing in one of those games that could definitely give us an over for sure.
All right. Well, we'll just call that a tease, and we'll see everyone on Monday.
See you Monday.
All right. I'm going to go to a Halloween party tomorrow and then be hungover and watch football on Sunday with no stress.
I love it.
All right. We'll see you all Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Hit that like button, please. And yeah, we'll see you Monday. See ya.